Hello, ladies and gentlemen. StreamYard's finally getting us on air. We are here live with the Gimmick, your monthly edition. It's a little weird because I looked and said, when did we do the Gimmick last? It was January 31st. Technically, that's like supposed to be a February edition. Same thing. This is February. It's March 1 now, the 1st of March, but it's kind of like so. February is a weird month. And as we said, Mania season is kind of weird, and we got the game. But I am the Canadian Nightmare, and I'm joined by the very nice, the very evil, the very boxy David. How's it going, David?
I'm good. I'm enjoying the craziness of the Midwest right now. It was 75 degrees yesterday. It is 35 degrees today.
Oh, nice. You're not dealing with mountains of snow and stuff. I saw Balga post his kids on the patio. It's just like mountains of snow on their tables and their yard and stuff. So even in Canada, we ain't getting that right now.
Yeah, not yet for us, but on our forecast we do have on I think Friday it is supposed to be a high of 65, but there's also a 60% chance of snow that morning. So again, we're
Yeah. You know what? For people that for years I grew up with them that make their Canada jokes and that we live in igloos and it's cold and everything, it has snowed twice here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in Canada, Vancouver, BC. It has snowed twice. And the two times it snowed, it was gone the next day. Now, some of that might be global warming, but I don't want to hear anything Canada jokes in the next decade about, like, oh, it's so cold in the snow. It's like in America where it's warm, you guys are getting dumped on all the time. But we are joined by.
Never go full coding. I had this planned if he won the chamber, obviously relating to what Hangman has going on, but
Yeah.
it was too good to
It works.
not use it.
No, it works either way though. Still, and that's why it's still a good thing they didn't go full Cody. Because what we're going to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to talk about the chamber and kind of just some WrestleMania implications, kind of in general. Things that's been going on TV. Like it's a big, heavy debate right now about everything with Mania, right? So how do we see it kind of falling out? And then we'll talk about S-Bubs is going to have, after we do Chamber, the results of the draft. And of course, in the Chamber, we'll talk about everything that happened. Danhausen, Seth, the winners, all that good stuff. We'll do the draft results. Then we're going to do some Revolution predictions. And then for the next few months, as we've said before, April gets a little dicey. You'll get like at least probably 3 episodes in April because we're going to do a WrestleMania predictions, which is our new draft for the 2026-27. So we'll do that. And then we're going to review WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. Dynasty, I forgot that Dynasty is a week before Mania. It's a big pain. I don't know what we're going to do with that because I might be there live as well. So I don't know if we don't do an episode, maybe I'll put a camera on Dylan and make him review his first ever wrestling event. So that's my hope is I bought me and Dylan tickets, and my hope is if I can get down there, we're gonna see it. He's never seen wrestling, so Dynasty we'll see. Even if it's a mini review after WrestleMania Night 1,
that would be a good like Travis told you with
it would be, yeah, like because I'm gonna be there, so I'm gonna bring my mic and stuff. So hopefully we can do that. But yeah, so that's gonna be happening. And then for March next weekend, well, I'm gonna talk to the guys after either the 7th or the 8th. We're going to be streaming WWE2K26. This is going to be the matches. This is going to be us. So obviously it's going to be a short amount of time, but make your creator wrestler as fast as you can, boys. We're going to be having a best of 5, and whoever wins third or whoever wins the 3 first will be ranked first, and then whoever does the second, obviously second, third, because the week after or the weekend after, whenever we can figure it out, we're going to be doing GMO 2026, which is technically our 4th season. Lots of new additions, so that's going to decide the ranking, the order, who picks the GMs, the shows. So that's why I think, and there'll be another Gimmick, I think, after Revolution, I think, as well. I think because Revolution's on a Sunday, the 15th. Obviously, we're not going to do that because AEW will go till 5 in the morning. So the 22nd, we will do, even if it's just a mini one. So that's where, look out on Patreon or social media if you want to watch live. If not, it'll be on the feed. You have the Gimmick feed, and then you got the GV feed as well. So that's why we kind of are kind of all over. But WrestleMania season, you're going to get an additional episode. But yeah, so we're here to talk about said season. David, what do you think about the Chamber? It was a 4-match show, including a box reveal as well. How was it overall for you?
overall for me. I would say this was a 3 out of 5, and that's kind of being a little bit generous.
The whole show was a 3 out of 5. Oh.
the whole show and I think part of it for me is that the switch over to ESPN, the price increase and everything else, you gave me a 4-match mediocre experience.
David's already got an asterisk on it now. He factors in the price and the format. It is getting crazy that we're down to 4 matches now. I remember last year all the debates and stuff about like 5. Can you really do 5? And I agree. I think you should do more. Don't need to do AEW style, but I feel like somewhere, depending on how long the match is, like 6 to 8 can be a good sweet spot. So let's say 6, but even 5 is like, okay, I could see that. The fact that we're getting 4, I know it's Chamber and Rumble, but
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like the stretch of the ones where it's for like with the War Games and the Rumble and the Chamber, like those are the 4 match, because I feel like because even last year like the like Night of Champions or Crown Jewels, I think all at 5. So it's just kind of it's weird that like the stretch of the ones that have 4 all happen to be like back to back to back.
And I feel like the show could have used just a mid-card ice. Like, I guess there was a mid-card icy, but like AJ felt like that feels more like a bigger deal, AJ and Becky, right? It doesn't feel like a mid-card like when Gunther was defending against Sheamus or somebody. Like, I felt like they needed, I guess they thought Danhausen might be that cool down, but you can't make a debut the cool down. So it's like a 4-match card is a really odd pacing to try and do, you know?
It felt like a WrestleMania, just a prequel to WrestleMania. Everything here is just to set up WrestleMania, nothing else. Like, you have all these other titles and things like that you could have utilized. It wasn't like they were in the chamber already. You didn't have your IC champion in the chamber or somebody else in the chamber. You've already had the tag titles, the women's tag titles dropped so that they could be in the chamber. Like, there were so many other options. You could have slated some matches in there.
And like, we're going to get into it, but to be honest, I think we all know that the men's or the SmackDown World title for the men is not going to be a one-on-one match. So you could just scrap and be like, we're just going to do one chamber. It's going to be the women and then do another match. Like, I'm not saying to get, because I don't know. It's tough. Sometimes you can have multiple chambers, but that's where it could have helped to have something else. I don't think any chamber was like remarkable. I think the women's one was better, but I think they both had some issues. Like, obviously, LA Knight had some issues, and then it's funny because she won a lot of most improved awards, but I feel like Raquel really had like a bad showing last night. I feel like that was not her best. It was just kind of sloppy. So I think
I think for a lot of people it's kind of like the opposite. Like, a lot of tweets are like Raquel carried the chamber, and like they even booed when she got eliminated.
That's fun, but like she could barely. She was gonna drop Asuka on her fucking head, and that finish, like the hoist. There's lots of that type of stuff where just the pacing and I think what's like I don't even think this is an offensive thing to say. Raquel's like Margaret is like a big woman, but she's not like. I don't think she's like super strong. Like, she's not like a genetic freak, you know. It's not like
it's just because she's tall. It's like the meme that they said like in my gym how they made Indy Hartwell like a giant class, and it's like she's really not. She's just tall.
It's that. It's not like Beth Phoenix, who just like she's gonna powerhouse guys. Like, she's gonna pick up the Great Ali and throw him over the rope. You know, where it's like Raquel. Like they book her. I feel like whoever is producing these matches, multiple times I've caught it where it's fine if it's someone like really really tiny. I guess Asuka's not that big, but I just feel like they book her to be like what Nia or Jade does, but it's not. She doesn't have that type of strength.
Booked like especially with like the stuff through the chamber. I was like, this like Braun Strowman like booking.
Yes, like run through the house, like even the Big Show. It's like she's not that, and I even know because like she's, I think on purpose, especially what she's gonna be wrestling, like Rhea's like toned up a lot, so she's not as big as she used to be, but Rhea's not also small, so it's like it's weird to have Raquel as like, well, she's the big giant person where like Rhea's like her same size, so it doesn't, I don't know, it's just something there. So yeah, that didn't really work for me. But I think I'm similar to David where it's like I don't know if I'm for a show, but I feel like I'm in that 3 to 3.5 somewhere in there. I didn't like love the show. I think it's a combination of a lot of predictability, and no match really stood out. Like, I think AJ and Becky for me was really sloppy, which is fine. AJ's getting back. I think Punk and Balor had a better match on Raw a couple weeks ago. And I think both the men and women's chamber had some fun moments, but nothing that was like really stood out as like, oh, I'm going to go back to watch this one, you know? So
yeah.
What about US Bubs?
I'd say I mostly agree. I think overall I'm probably higher on the show than you guys, but I'd still say like in that general range of like if we all had to agree on like one rating for the whole show and you guys said 3.5, I'd probably be okay with still giving that. But for me, it was probably a little bit more. But there's definitely stuff like I think just like the ending in general, like not to the actual match, but sort of like the Danhausen into the men's chamber match, I'd say was like I like the first three matches quite a bit, I'd say.
Yeah, those two for especially because like I don't know. I'm so curious with people. I guess I just don't know because I saw a lot of people talking about the men's chamber being overbooked, and I'm just like, I feel like that's been and I think it's good or bad, but it's like their biggest match since Triple H takeover was the Bloodline Rules match, right? Which was like a overbooked mess, but like in a good way. So it's like that's clearly stuff they do here, but there's just weird. I get it when people are like, oh well, Logan Paul took Bronson's spot, so that's why he got all those eliminations. But it's like that's not the same. It's like remember a Rumble a couple years ago when Brock was supposed to be in it, all that shit went down. Like okay, just give Braun the spot, right? That works because like Braun is like big, has a similar mindset. For Logan Paul to be the guy like runs the table and starts to like eliminate people, and it's fine. They're doing it in like cheap sort of ways, but it just kind of killed the flow of the match.
I feel like it was Bronson. It probably would have been like he just like does the tsunami on them, and for Logan Paul was like I think like two of them were literally just like he low blowed and like rolled them up was like the elimination.
Yeah. Which is like I guess I get it, but yeah, there's one where someone hit their finish, he threw them out of the ring. It's like, what's the matter to you? Like what? Like if he's just gonna get like you can say like, oh, I pinned him. I thought they were gonna do something like he has the record, but I don't even know if he has that for like elimination chamber eliminate, which is like not even that impressive. There's only 6 people in it, so it's not like a crazy like oh no one could ever do this.
Yeah,
so
I think I think I know Shayna has the one where she eliminated everyone.
Yeah. Shane eliminated everybody, man.
Yeah, that was like the well. If you go back, the crowd is like she eliminates everyone, and the crowd is like dead silent for her.
Yeah,
like,
she eliminates 4, and then she ends. Yeah,
that's when that's the year she versus Becky,
she loses
right?
To Becky, yeah.
That's why because I remember Becky multiple times in her book said she wanted to lose to Shayna. That's why Vince was back there. He had this woman eliminate 5 people and saw the reaction. Like,
But even then, like the people they put her like in that chamber with was like it wasn't like oh she's like dominating. It was like Sarah Logan and like Mandy Rose and like people like that. Like it's like destroying these people isn't gonna do that much for like if it was like Charlotte in there and she just like eliminates her like right away. But for men's record, I mean it probably speaking of Braun Strowman, it probably is him in some chamber.
Braun or,
like that, or
yeah. Braun or Brock. It's always one of those goddamn guys. But yeah, I guess we could start with the men's chamber because there's some obviously stuff that's coming out of that from multiple ways. So I agree with David. You said yesterday where Javon, I thought he was going to get more highlight. I thought the highlight that Kiana James got in the women's, that was what Javon was going to get. He still did some cool stuff, but I thought he was going to last a bit longer. But start with him and Cody. I did like the spot of when Paul came in and him, Trick, and Javon just beat Logan Paul down. I know it's a report. We've talked about this.
They do that in every like Logan and like every Rumble he's in and like every chamber they do that same spot.
We've read the report. We talked about this. It's like, yeah, just turn Trick now, like get it over with. It seems like malpractice at this point. This guy's getting and I know it's still just like a champ, but like I think people still like Trick. Watch his fucking media that he did this week. The guy's a star. Like he did great. Like this is his first big water out there. He's doing great. Put whatever title, put it on him. Let him have some fun with it. But yeah, so we went throughout, as we mentioned, Paul got multiple eliminations. We had 2 chamber run-ins. We had a fake masked man, which I don't understand. Like, I get it, what ended up happening, but like the door is open for elimination, and the masked man tries to climb the cage, which you can't get in, but he's trying to climb, so it's a diversion. So Seth can get in. That's the big reveal. He curb stomps Logan Paul, costs him that, and we'll stop right there. Then we'll return back to the other stuff. So before when we did the last pod, we did not have the news that Braun Breaker was injured. Obviously, the idea is they hope he's back, but I feel like that's maybe gone away because it felt like, oh, yeah, he's gone for a few weeks, and then it's like, well, I don't know. So I guess we have Seth, who's going out to get revenge on the Vision, on 2 members who weren't even a part of the turn. Like I don't think it's as bad as this, but the Vision is definitely in this decade the equivalent to AEW's like Devil storyline of like all the injuries that have plagued this, of like MJF and Adam Cole constantly turn back and forth, like, oh, he's a babyface now, no, he's a babyface. It's like, why does Seth care? Like, even if he's back, right? Why is he not just attacking Paul Heyman? Why does he care to go after Logan Paul or Austin? Like, it'd be different if it was that night, Braun Breaker, they pulled the Edge Judgment Day thing, right? Where Finn Balor turned, he joined the group, and they beat the crap out of Edge. And it's like, okay, that makes sense. Rollins has nothing against these people. Like, there's nothing to do with these two guys other than, like, I got to stop the vision. So, man, I said this in the Discord. If they do Logan Paul, Seth Rollins 2, I bet you, unless they they got to add a stip, because that crowd, I think, is going to be quiet. That's one of the most, like, sauceless WrestleMania matches of all time. Like, they got to add something to this. But yeah, David, what do you think's going on? What do you do with this mess of, obviously it's not their fault. Even Bronson Reed and Seth, like, okay, I could see how you could get there. They could put on a good match. They've done that before. But obviously, and I forgot to mention that too, Bronson tore his bicep. So fuck, man, worst luck ever for him right now. He just came back from injury. But what do you do with this mess?
They've got a whole lot of chaos on their hands, and like to your point earlier, I don't agree with, and I don't see why they had Logan Paul go all Super Saiyan and just start eliminating people left and right. Again, this is an elimination match, so the smart thing to do as the heel would be to kind of sit back in the corner or like hide in a pot or somewhere, like finisher, and they're about to pin someone else. You don't have to steal the pin. Like, it doesn't behoove you to get extras. Like, it didn't make sense. Then you had to build up just for the elimination on there. And the other thing that seemed weird, all right, so we had, I think it was 2 years ago when Logan Paul was the one who came back in after the cage was left open.
Don't get me
long.
started. It's 2023 because I've seen a stupid tweet going around of long-term storytelling.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is not what this means.
I want to make
like they literally had a match already because of that moment. It's not like
it's over. It's done. The payoff happened.
No, but the point that I want to make with that is, why are you guys leaving the cage open so long that people are being able to enter in or come back in? Because now you just left the cage open. You had all these referees. All the referees are outside, and Drew McIntyre just saunters in, hits him with a belt, and then they have all this. No one jumps in to stop this. No one is like, Drew, get out of here. They're all just sitting there watching.
All the referees were distracted by the first master, and they're all surrounding him.
Yeah, they gotta take him out.
There was like 50 referees holding like the masked man, and Adam Pearce holding him down.
Yeah, and there's no other security after the fact. It's just Drew works here. I guess that's the thing, right? They're probably in kayfabe, like, well, it could be a fan. So we gotta get him out of there, you know. So,
yeah.
But all this whole they're stuck in the chamber. Is anyone really stuck in this chamber? Because people are just walking in all willy nilly.
No, well, it's like the Hell in the Cell now, right? Like, you can get out of that so much now. So, yeah, David, do you run if no Braun, obviously no Bronson? Do you just run Paul and Rollins and call it a day?
Yeah. I think at this point you kind of have to. You've booked yourself into a corner with this. Hopefully Rollins is good enough to compete, and he's not just doing one of these we've run out of options, we got to bring you back a couple of weeks early type deals, because the vision has been so cursed and everything else that this is just what they have to do at this point with that. It makes no sense, but hey, let them run it now, because I guess that's the only option that you have. I'm also wondering, with the fallout of the chamber, how they now have Drew versus Cody coming up on SmackDown. Like, is this going to be building up towards a triple threat or a fatal four-way at WrestleMania? I mean, you already had a triple threat for one championship last year's WrestleMania. Are you going to do another triple threat this WrestleMania? Like, it's
sure, why not?
Yeah, and the whole thing
just all seems overly complicated for no reason.
There's definitely going to be like a bunch of run-ins and stuff like on the Cody match. I mean, I don't think because the thing is, like, well, with Randy winning now, like, for him, like, he has his shot at WrestleMania. So I think the thing will be like he'll be like, oh, like, I don't really care who has the title, like, at WrestleMania, I'm gonna win. So I don't think he'll be one of the ones to like interfere in the match.
No, I think his character stuff is gonna actually come post Mania, because I think what's gonna happen is they can go either.
Black in that 6-way match.
Don't even
Black
try.
in the main event of Mania.
Don't even try. Yeah, and him and Cody relive that stare down and everything. But that's the final two. But no, I think with Randy, I think his character motivations can come after me. I think that the 4-way, at least, I think that's what they're going to get if we're talking about that now. I think they are going to do that. They could easily Luke Harper, Jacob Fatu, I talk about the Discord, but I don't think so. I feel like he's been the storyline enough, and he's got the gas right now. Put him in there. But at least with the 4-way, if they do that Mania, I could actually see any of them winning that. I could see someone waking up that morning and be like, fuck it, just put on Jacob. Like, let's get especially, we don't know what night that's on, but like if something happens, if they feel like
it's definitely on night 1.
Yes, if
Roman is night 2. So
yeah, if they feel something like, you know what, people like, let's say they have a couple bad SmackDowns, or they just they want a big angle going into night 2. Jacob winning that does that, right? Where Cody in Vegas, I don't know, but you could still do that. It's a 4-way. I think you mask like the booze a bit better. Randy could easily, legit, I think he could win. He could do that, and then I think Drew could easily
17 times.
Which is so stupid, because like that means you have to lose still 3 more times, Rand. Like you have to it never makes sense, that logic. I want to become a 17-time world champion, unless he said like I gotta go win the WWE title too. But and even then, if it's not, I think it will be in the main event. But if it's not the main event of night 1, Drew could easily retain that. A heel could easily just do what Paul did, right? So I think it gives him so much more options. But I think for Randy, what'll happen is I think he'll be like cool, nonchalant, and a little pissly up to Mania. If he doesn't win, though, and especially if Cody wins, that's where the heel Randy's going to happen. Because it's like, I won the chamber. I was supposed to get a one-on-one match. This became a 4-way. I fucking lost, and it's your fault. So I think, unless for some reason they're just like, yeah, have Randy win it, which I don't think they will, I think this is going to be the actual start of Randy being a heel again, and he'll use this opportunity of, and it's kind of like it's justified, right? We can't say he's wrong, because he had a one-on-one match, and then all these dudes just get added to his title match. Like that doesn't make any, it makes sense in wrestling wise, but for as a character, it'd be like, what happened? Especially if Cody wins. The only thing I'd say is don't do that turn the same, like the SmackDown WrestleMania, because the people will cheer Randy turning on Cody. You have to wait like a couple weeks, or do like the Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes backstage fight where Randy like attacks him elsewhere. Because if he RKO's Cody and they're still in Vegas or somewhere around there, Randy's no heel then. He's the fucking baby face, you know? So yeah.
I do wonder, like, I was joking about it, but I could see like Aleister Black being like the carrying cross of the situation, where he doesn't actually get a match, but he's like, because this was like Randy winning this match was like following that storyline still, because basically like him and Zelina were like, oh, like once you're in there with Cody, like will you be like man enough to like actually like pull the trigger on him, and he did RKO him. So
yeah.
But what they were building is like the punt. Like Aleister wants Randy to punt Cody.
Even the way Cody after the match when Randy won, the way Cody was on his knees, I thought Randy was gonna just put the whole chutzpah on, but they're saying that's what I think could be the SmackDown after Mania. But again, I think he's just gonna get a pop for it. I think like the more effective route, like
he does it in like the Mania match to like if it's like a 3 or 4-way, that can be like the spot to like take out Cody, or
it could be, and that would be smart to give Cody some time off, and then Cody could come up and be like, hey, you kind of crossed the line by punting. Like I thought we were still good. Like that's not really cool and stuff. Or in my opinion, as much as like I love Cody, but I think there's a combination of many things. I think mostly our booking. I think some people get a little tired because he's been in the main event a lot, but I think lots of the booking of they put him in bad situations. I would do the reverse, and my fantasy book is I would love Jacob to win the title at WrestleMania, and you have Randy punt Jacob at SmackDown, and then because Randy will actually get heat for that, right? And then you rock with Jacob or Randy for a bit, and just give Cody some time off. That's not going to happen. I just think what happens is Cody wins the 4-way, people are bitter about it, and then they have Randy turn like, this is a good idea, and then and then Cody and Randy are gonna wrestle for like 3 to 4 months with Cody cutting these fucking babyface promos while he gets booed, and it's just like I just see the writing on the wall. Like that's where it's like Randy winning last night was good, but it's just like delaying what I think is the inevitable. It's like we talk about with the Rumble, right? With I suppose you said at one point, which I agree with you, thought Paul would go last, but obviously Rollins was in there. And I said this in the Rumble. They used this with Drew or Nakamura. When Big Dog Roman was getting those negative reactions, if they had someone new winning the Rumble, they're like, have him throw out Roman, because they knew they'd get the pop, right? Even if people weren't completely in love with Nakamura yet, it's like, well, they just don't want Roman. So that's why I just feel like, but the thing is, Roman would still go and win the Chamber, win something else, and he's still getting that WrestleMania title shot. That's the thing I feel with Cody. It's going to be like, oh, well, he's not winning it now. Yeah, but then what's going to happen April, whatever, 18th or 19th? I don't know, but I think that's the route we're going. But yeah, I suppose what about the anything more on obviously SmackDown and stuff, but anything more on Rollins and the Vision and what's going on there?
Like what they'll do at Mania?
Yeah, like just what out of 5, what is your interest level on Rollins, Logan Paul?
As like a Mania match?
Yeah.
Like a 1.
Yeah, like Raw, sure.
I would honestly rather see Seth versus Austin Theory at Mania than
I would rather see Seth versus Paul Heyman in a 3-minute squash match. I would be fine if the match, it just rang the bell, Rollins stomped him 3 times, then Paul took like a break on TV for like 6 months and then like freshen him up. And then he comes back with Bronson and Braun Breaker.
Like Seth and the Usos versus Theory, Logan, and Heyman.
That's more interesting, and make it like a street fight. Like make it like a Anarchy Arena sort of thing.
Like the Hell in a Cell match with Punk. I think he has one that's like it's technically a handicap. It's like Punk.
It is.
Was it Ryback?
Yeah, Punk and Ryback, and it's him and Heyman on top of the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that's the photo.
It's so weird too, because like they build up this big angle, like Punk's getting his revenge. So they go to the cell. No one in the right mind thinks Paul's taking an actual cell bump, but the entire audience is thinking he's taking a cell bump. So when he just kindos him to death, the reaction's just so like little, because it's like, oh, that's it, like just a kendo stick, like. I thought you were going to toss this guy off the roof, but they should have never went up there. But yeah, I'd be more, because again, like, so what? Like Roman guillotined him, and then I think Punk like clothesline Paul once. Like Paul's not got like any comeuppance from last year's Mania.
Like one Superman punch and put in the guillotine.
Like I think Paul, especially, and some of this is not his fault, right, with the Vision, but like I think. And Brock's around, but I think it would do good for everybody if you kind of wrote Paul Heyman the character off for a little bit. Obviously, he's still backstage doing stuff, but that's what I'd say. It's just fine. Do Austin Theory and Paul Heyman versus whatever. Like, because I'm trying to think of like even a tag team, right? Like, who could you? The only thing that can juice this up, the only thing that can get there, and I don't think it's gonna happen, if it's Austin Theory and Logan Paul versus Rollins and Bad Bunny. That is the only way that, and I cannot believe I'm saying this. I love Bad Bunny now. I didn't know who he was when he started wrestling last year, my most streamed artist. I cannot be saying that
Meltzer, he had no idea who is it. Like, why are they putting this guy on the show? No one knows this guy.
Yeah, I wasn't that. I always get why they've been, but I legitimately had not heard of Bad Bunny before until wrestling, and then after the fact. But you know what? That's a sad thing where the only thing that'll get me excited for this match is if we get Bad Bunny as Rollins' tag partner. And at least it's like, okay, do a stip. It's a celeb spot. You can have Bad Bunny beat up Paul Heyman. Like, there's tons of fun stuff you can do there. But man, Rollins and Paul, I can see the crowd now. I can see the people going to get their merch. I can see that, like, because you've already done it at Mania, and this just like, and it's not like a Roman Brock where it's like, okay, I get it. They're 2 main eventers. I guess you'll do it again. It's like, and I get it here too now. I guess my suggestion was, honestly, I've said this for a while, they need him, I guess, because they're losing people, but Rollins should not come back until after Mania. Like, just have him sit for a while and just wait until Braun's back or something for him to do. Not this, but yeah, I guess we're gonna get this. I think S-Bubs, if there's no Bad Bunny, is there like one stip that they could get this that would make it exciting for you at least? Because I feel the match needs
like if it's a Seth and Logan, just one.
Yeah, if it's just straight up them. Because I feel like if it's 1-on-1, that match is, like I said, I feel like that's a bathroom break match for people.
I don't know, like maybe like a false count anywhere or something. Like he like throws them off the stage or whatever.
Yeah, you do some, or they should do some. They should find some stupid like boneyard match, but it's like a new match where it's like it's never been done. Like something like Orange Cassidy versus Jericho and like the fucking orange plunge match or something. They need
prime plunge.
Yes. Yeah. Do a dumpster match, but it's like the prime. Yeah,
like
exactly. Do prime.
pool.
Yeah, like you said, make it red so it looks like blood. So in years later, like look how blood it is. Yeah, do something stupid like that. But
it was the AEW one. That was like the orange mimosa match.
Yeah, the orange mimosa. Yeah, and Jericho's jacket got dyed, and they talked about it for a whole year and stuff. David, any stip? What stip would you give this?
Injured Rollins still is, you might have to do a false count anywhere or some version of that so that you can have them go to the back or go to other areas and that be pre-taped so that it's not all on Rollins and that.
Or they just do like a finisher spam, like even like WrestleMania 40, like when he was like he had like a torn ACL, torn MCL. Yeah. Like I like that Drew match, but if you go watch it, like he doesn't wrestle. Like the only moves he does in that match, he does like 15 pedigrees, 10 stomps, and that's like all the only moves he does in that match.
It sucks too. Like all his signature moves are all like leg oriented too. Like pedigree, blunt force trauma on the knees, stomp, you're coming down your knees. Like he's like, man, I should have had a sleeper or something. Like that's why Gunther, smartest man. His two finishes, like I know he didn't finish, but really it's a power bomb. So someone else is taking the bump, and then the sleeper. Like so such an easy. Even Cena, right? FTFS, like easy. I ain't getting hurt all. Rollins. No wonder why Rollins is getting hurt all the time. He's taking these high impact moves all the time. But David, I think that's actually not a bad pitch if he's like, if it's like you're like cleared, but it's like a very loose clear. That's probably a smart that you can protect him. And you know what? Hey, I'm maybe the biggest defender in the world. Run back Edge and Randy Orton with Seth Rollins, Logan Paul. Let's do it. Get him backstage. Let him go for 40 in the last man standing.
Battling on top of the bus and all this other stuff.
Fighting the gym,
So all those like sort of like cinematic matches play like in front of a crowd. Because there haven't been that many that really like the only ones I can think of that have been like, I think it was the first. No, it was the second Stadium Stampede before it became Anarchy in the Arena was like half cinematic, and then they came to like they fought from the stadium to the arena, and then like the ending of it was like in front of a crowd.
Yeah,
but I don't really know how much that plays where it's like, oh, you're just like watching a screen half the match.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's the one thing I guess with Mania, right? So I think probably a finisher spam or some weapons, or like I said, it sucks that there's no one unless they have Bad Bunny in the pocket. It sucks that there's no one. You know, this is why I wish these companies are on better terms because Triple H
surprise.
I guess Royce, but
Seth Rollins.
If they're on better terms, Triple H should sit down, call up TK, and be like, you know what can I get? People want it at 40.
Yeah,
what can I get for Moxley? No. What can I get for John Moxley one night? Like, what do you need from me? And also the answer is CM Punk versus Kenny Omega. And boom, you're done. All in CM Punk versus Kenny Omega. WrestleMania Shield reunion. You know how much that place would fuck. Look at Danhausen, poor guy, because I always thought it was Jericho. You know that fucking pop Moxley would get? Imagine that comes in one night, beats Austin Theory, because guess what? Austin Theory, or no, it was EC3, right? Fuck, it's not even Austin Theory. They beat him. Yeah, he goes back. You know, he doesn't have to be right. You can play the John Moxley theme, give him the hoodie. But like I said, I honestly would have just had Seth sit, but I get it because so many injuries, they just need the star power. So I get it. It's just this WrestleMania, a lot of I think there's self-inflicted wounds and there's not self-inflicted wounds. And that's where we get to the I was gonna say to the women's. Anything else on the men's chamber we didn't mention or talk about? In scenarios,
I don't
was gonna last longer, and that's sad.
Oh, Javon?
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna last
Wi-Fi
much.
Cuts. David, your Wi-Fi cuts in and out sometimes. So that's why we didn't hear you. So,
all right, can you hear me now?
We can hear you. I think it comes and goes. I think that's what. Yeah,
gotcha. I was saying that it's ice storming outside right now. I just looked out the window. I thought Javon was going to last longer, and I was hoping that he was going to last longer and have more spots, jump off some more shit, but that's the only thing that's said about that.
I thought he was gonna do the climb. I thought he was gonna do the dragon or the Callisto and climb the top, but he didn't. Yeah. So.
As for anything else, I guess just LA Knight. He's getting that unreal moment again in the back, sitting him down, showing him that clip. Why his title push has been delayed.
I love. I saw someone it was like a Copia meme where they showed that Finn also slipped on the ropes, and look, it wasn't his fault. That spot is just super shiny. But yeah, I think. Well, I guess we don't know because I guess we can put this in here. Not that they care too much, but at one point it was rumored. We talked about it was okay. It's gonna do Brock and Oba months earlier. There's talks about Brock and Gunther, and then there was even talks which. To me, terrible matchup of LA Knight and Brock Lesnar, which to me would just
that sounds like Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar.
yeah, that has some bad potential. So clearly they haven't decided they're going to do an open challenge. I don't know why you don't just I guess we'll have to wait and see if it just ends up being Oba. I don't know why you just don't announce that before. I think they still could
really get because they announced the dates he's going to be on the show, but is that just going to be he walks to the ring, says someone come out to fight me, no one comes out for 5 weeks, and then at Mania someone comes out, or is the person going to come out before and then the other appearances are actual build to the match?
I hope that's what it is, even if it's just Oba destroying people like Danhausen, welcome to WWE, and then you're getting them ready for Brock, right? This idea, if we really have nobody for Brock and it's just him on the poster by himself with the Vankit guy, and then it's just who's going to come out? It's I don't know, because at that point, it's if you have Oba too, you make him bigger star. He can talk about in the media, he can get ready, but I feel they're just trying to make a moment, so they want to be well, who's it going to be? Because I think they liked what happened with the Joe Hendry stuff last year. So, and who knows, maybe it'll be, who's the TNA World Champion right now?
Right now, Santana still.
Perfect. It's going to be Santana. They'll run it back again this year. They're going to same thing. Santana's going to get a 2-minute match with Brock, and then Brock should be the number one contender. But yeah, so that's happening. We'll see. And then on the women's side, I don't think much of a surprise for us, but I suppose you were talking about Discord. Lots of people, I guess, were convinced that Tiffany might win here, but I don't even know what she's doing.
Changed by Saturday, it went to -1,000 Rhea Ripley. So
now, granted,
Punk was -10,000 for the match.
If someone was just hoping Finn was going to accidentally pin him Blake Monroe style and get a bunch of money, but yeah, I don't know what Tiffany's going to be doing, but yeah, we got the Women's Rumble, big spotlight for
Chelsea Green on the SmackDown before Mania.
Yeah, you're probably right, which is quite the step down. But you got it was James and Tiffany at Stardust. Tiffany just becoming, we're talking about Jon Moxley becoming Mick Foley, taking bump after bump. Looked like she might have broke her nose, if not just maybe some cartilage. Got James, who got a massive highlight here, and then you had Rhea Ripley getting the win. I suppose, what do you think of the Women's Chamber and some of these storylines that emerged after the fact?
I really like the Women's Chamber. I'd say it was probably my favorite match of the night. I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I thought I think just from when Asuka came in, the first person out of the pod, I thought it really picked up from there. She was just because I feel in a lot of triple threats, it feels it's just a singles match with or even multi-person matches in general. It'll feel it's just kind of a 1v1, and then some people are dead on the outside for a while.
Yeah.
But I like that Asuka was fighting both Tiffany and Kiana at the same time. She would be punching and kicking someone at the same time or throwing them against each other. And I really like that in general in this chamber. It felt it was kind of everyone fighting each other at the same time.
I also liked the start when Asuka came in the pod and Kiana just speared her right away. Oh, yeah. I enjoyed that. That was good. David, what about you?
Out of the 4 matches, it was probably my favorite as well. I'm not as familiar with Kiana because I only sparingly watched NXT. She's a recent call-up, but I was man, she looked good in this match. She looked prepared in this match. She had some fun spots. I liked a lot of the other women's spots, man. Tiffany took some bumps. She was bumping her ass off, the back handspring into the chamber where she fell and hit on that, and she had a couple others where I was just man, this girl is putting it all on the line. She's not going to let you talk about she's just a pretty blonde after this. She's going full force. I thought it was fun. Rhea winning was predictable, especially after them losing the tag titles, but it was still a good match.
Yeah, it's kind of what we thought. I don't know. They've just kind of painted themselves in their corner. I just don't understand it. Last year, I was all in the Rhea Liv Morgan thing, and I'll give S-Bubs credit, which should end up being true of that. But S-Bubs like, I think they're doing EO and Rhea. I'm like, I just don't see them giving EO that spot. She gets that spot, wins, big highlight. So this year, when S-Bubs tell me they're going to be 1-on-1, I'm like, yeah, I'm all for it. Let's do Rhea. Like, I'm all for Rhea and EO this year, 1-on-1. Yeah, do the John Cena, the Ray Eddie, have the 2 tag team champions just finally decide who's best singles, right? And now they drop this title, and even Rhea on the post, like, yeah, we're not going to be a team. Like, we'll have each other's backs, but we're going to take a little break. So it's just like, it was just to keep them busy, which is fine. We kind of heard that, right? And I just feel like it's almost in reverse, where I still stand by. Now, granted, I can't take it away because I don't want to lose EO, Bianca, and Rhea from last year, right? So can't do that. But it just feels like with Liv winning the Rumble spot, that should have been elsewhere. And it's so strange too, where we heard rumblings about, Triple H, maybe it's in the future, right? But it's like he views Stephanie versus Rhea as a WrestleMania main event. And it's like the setup's right there for it, where Stephanie has the title and Rhea won the chamber, and they're not doing that. And okay, so we're doing Rhea and Jade, which I get because we talked about where it sounded like it's gonna be her and Bianca, and Rhea is the next best choice for like a big star. But at the same point, I actually still just push back against it. I feel like I'd still rather have Rhea and EO, and then maybe they're not doing this now. I still felt the way to go was a multi-woman with Jade, because I felt that would have projected Jade. Rhea is gonna. This is definitely Jade's biggest test on Mania. I think everything. I think from the program to the match, they're gonna be watching her with a fine like the monocle. Like, they're gonna be like, have their eyes on her, because if she stumbles or if that match doesn't deliver, I can see Jade, like, she's gonna get bumped down, and Rhea's gonna. I'm not saying Jade's useless out there. I'm just saying that she's not versus Naomi. She's not in a mid-card match where it's okay, you guys, in a stip match, right? This is like gonna be a marquee match. You're gonna be on the poster. This is gonna be like the SmackDown Women's main event, right? You have to have a good match, and that's where for me it could be a styles clash.
For me with Jade, it's like, I think they kind of like, in trying to protect her, or like what they think she can't do, I think she can do more than what they let her do. I think if you put her there with like good workers and give them time, like even like the Jordan Grace match, that was probably not a super long match, maybe like 10-15 minutes at most, but like it was a good match, and she just let them, like, if all she's doing is like 2-minute squash matches against like BFAB, like,
you're not gonna learn,
not gonna look good. Yeah. Like, I think if you put her in there with Rhea and just give them time, like, it'll be a good match, and just like let them just hit each other as hard as possible. Just like, if they just like what you're saying, like, just have them just like hitting each other out there and doing power bombs and power
big meaty woman match, like that type of thing, right? And that's the thing too, because like I think it's on purpose that Rhea has like toned up. She gets to be like, she's been doing like lucha stuff. People saying this, like, she can be more like the smaller person here. It's just like, I just wonder if they're like trying to sell tickets and move stuff. I just wonder if Jade's on that level, because I agree with you that Jade can do more. I just don't know. Like, are people going to be excited for this match? The good thing is, we'll wait till predictions when we get there. I actually don't know who's going to win. I could see that being like a weekend decision of, I feel like if Jade impresses, they're going to keep going. But if they feel like she kind of, it reminds me very much of Charlotte versus Tiffany last year, where it was felt like this would kind of go either way. If they want to teach Tiffany a lesson here, or like cement her, which if they cement her and she's on WrestleMania, I don't know what the point was, but I get it. It's just, it's going to be an interesting build and match. Dave, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to the WrestleMania version of the match, just because they haven't really let Jade go all out to where we can see if this is going to be truly a good match or not. I mean, she's had good moments. She's also had some kind of spotty moments. I do think Rhea is the type who can carry her with some spots, especially like the strong person spots. If they don't go well, I think that Rhea is limber enough to go with the flow of some of those big moments. And also, she can go with the flow of, if there's a botch, she can roll out of it into another strong woman spot and things like that.
Look at her. her and Alexa did that last night, right? They got mistimed, and they didn't do Sister Abigail and Rhea. I don't know who screwed up, but she was on the opposite side. But they were smart. They turned it, and then they did like the try to go riptide. But for a while, it was like like what do we? I can't rip cord this way. You're stuck. And then but she is like she's like it's weird to call her like a seasoned vet, but she is now. And people post that thing of like all the Mania matches, like she's. Like between this Charlotte or the triplet Charlotte, she's had the big like she is like I'm waiting if she wins for the Rhea Hogan stuff to start, but it's like no, that's why you cemented her because you knew in the next decade she's gonna be the person that leads this division. So it's like she is a person you can go, okay, we still think there's like we think of the Jade has potential, right? All this you got to go out there and make us like you're still part of the equation. Can't all be on Jade, right? Be like oh well she completely screwed us. That's where. The joke was Shawn Michaels could have a match with a broomstick, right? And that's why, because, okay, you put Shawn there with anybody, he's going to at least get you to a 3.5. And that's where, I'm not sure if Rhea can do that with everybody, but like when you are a top person, you kind of have to have that capability, or you just have to be like an amazing talker. That okay, even the match is kind of meh. Once you're in the arena, you're selling tickets, right? Which Jade, I think, is kind of neither, but Rhea's a bit of both of those. So that's where I'm curious what they do for 7 weeks of build with this, and then same with the other thing. I guess we didn't talk, but we knew it was going to happen. But Liv did pick Stephanie Vakir. I've liked the two segments. I like the turn, and I don't know if I buy so much of because that's what I saw you talking about with a couple of people. The idea of Stephanie saying that Liv was handed everything, where it's just like, I don't know, I feel like Liv Morgan was sometimes like weeks away from release, you know? So it's like, I buy kind of what she's saying as far as being the indie darling coming here. I don't know if that's the indie wrestler coming in doing John Cena bad. I don't know if that's going to make me excited for this. If like, that's what Stephanie does, if like Liv Morgan bad, like she just won her first Rumble. Like you could have done that with Rhea, really. Like Rhea's the one that since she got to even NXT UK, she's had a rocket on her fucking ass. Maybe the lead, there's a one WrestleMania, her and Liv team together was in the tag division. That was it. Ever since then, it was Charlotte, Asuka, the tag match, Charlotte again, Becky, the triple threat. Like she's been the person where Liv, she's never even had a singles match at Mania. So I think that's the only thing where I can get the WWE aspect. It's just that's where maybe it has to be somebody, Charlotte, Rhea, and I think Liv and Stephanie could actually be very, very good quality-wise. I just don't know if the story is going to sell me on it yet so far, but I like the turn segment. So
those Liv NXT days were not good at all.
They were rough. Yes. She was
not good at all.
She was discount Alexa Bliss. That was everyone talked about how she's the lesser version of Alexa Bliss. Why do you have her? You already got Alexa Bliss, and they're very much different. But it's just like she was the the Jersey girl gimmick with the suspenders was rough. And even the main roster, like I feel like
her call up she was like one of the lesser knowns of that call up spree.
And the Riot Squad wasn't a great stable.
Remember, like I think the reason she got called was literally like they were doing the first women's Rumble and they needed 30 women to be on the main roster.
Track. Yeah. And they did that, and the Riot Squad was nothing. It was just a vehicle for Ruby Riot at the time, and that didn't even work. They didn't care. And then for months she was like, what? Liv, or what was her name? Lana's secret lover, and they did that whole Rusev Bobby Lashley 4-way story. Like
I forgot about that. That was horrible.
Bobby and Lana were getting married, and someone ejects, and at first the camera makes it look like Liv's talking about Bobby, but then they shift it, and she's like, "You broke." Even recently, Liv was like, "What's one thing in your career you like regretted on?" Like, it's like, "I didn't like being a part of that wedding gimmick." You know, like that's the thing where it's like Liv's not been. Like I guess
also,
it's just weird.
If I remember correctly, I don't think it even went, and like I think she did that, and then like that never went anywhere. Like with her,
I think they did something a little bit the next week, and then they just dropped it. And I don't even know why they did that.
I'm pretty sure that was also like the last Raw of 2019. Like that was the main event segment. That was Vince's worst. One of the main event segments was Bobby and Austin Theory doing a muscle pose.
Yeah,
that's the last
crazy
Raw. Like before he got
crazy stuff. And that's why I need to remind myself sometime when I watch Shane, like, oh, that was an all right show. It's like I'm still just watching WWE now. There was a time where it's like I can't even watch that. So that's where it's just even with Liv winning the Rumble, sometimes they've pointed as like, oh, she finally did it. It's not like she did it again. So that's where I want to see where they go with the story. I'm not out yet, but like I like that she's getting upset. So, but again, I don't think that's like as much as I like those women, I don't think that's like a ticket seller. I don't know if like Liv and Stephanie's the match that people are like, oh man. And I guess if this is a full Travis conspiracy theory, there's part of me that wonders if there's less like big mainstream women matches. So like they can just be like, yeah, so Cody can main event. Like I just feel like if you have something bigger there, which I don't know what it could be. I still think Rhea and Stephanie is bigger than both these matches, but I don't know. Maybe they'll find a way. I don't know if the 4-way needs the main event either, if it's just Cody winning, but I guess we'll see. Is there anything on
I guess for like what like the other women's matches besides the ones that are like already confirmed,
yeah,
would be like because we have obviously Liv and Stephanie and now Rhea and Jade. Those are like locked in. The graphics are there.
Yeah. Did we get a Drew Randy graphic at all?
They didn't put it on the show, but on the post show there was one. But it wasn't even like a full screen one. It was like at the bottom, like it had like the WrestleMania logo and like Drew and Randy, but that was like
that's a working JPEG file.
Versus Bianca graphic.
Yeah. Well, then you got. Do we think they're gonna do Io and Julia at Mania?
I think because that was like I think it was Ibu who said that he like asked about why that match was canceled, and he said like they'll usually tell him if it's like an injury or something, and he said they just said creative reasons, which usually means they're doing this match on someplace bigger and they cancel it. So I feel like that might have been like. That specific week was when they decided Rhea was winning Chamber, and then
100%.
Io's match is Julia at Mania now.
All I hope
they run the both with the titles gimmick at the end of the show. So
I hope
to show the WrestleMania 20 footage again.
For both, it's just the U.S. title. I don't know, not the same, but no. I just hope they get on that card. I really do, because if there's a WrestleMania and if Julia's on the card again, like I don't think Julia's dead in the water yet, but it's like she's on the card, it's like close enough. If Tiffany and Io are both on like the SmackDown and Raws before Mania, that's like. I think that hurts you as a watcher, because you go, oh, the people last year that had massive manias with Tiffany getting the win on Charlotte and Io beating both Rhea and Bianca, they can't even be on the main show. Like that's where if Io's on the main show US title, that's fine. That's completely fine. It's a step down, but that's still fine. That shows she's like she can be on the main show. Tiffany, I just don't see a place, but I just really hope for both their sakes it's on there. And then I just imagine you're gonna get like a smorgasbord tag match, right? Of like Lash and Nia, and then Charlotte and Alexa, Lyra and Bailey, Rox and Raquel if Rox is good, and then the Bellas.
I don't know if Rox and Raquel. I mean, it depends. You don't think so? On Rox. Yeah. I mean, I feel like she could be back, but I'd say minimum probably the Lash and Nia, Bailey, Lyra, the Bellas, and Charlotte and Alexa. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I don't care. I'll stand by it unless something changes. Hashtag Traz told you. Bells are winning that fucking match. They're giving them that Mania moment. I'm telling you, they're gonna get, even if they lose, even if they lose the Raw after. I'm telling you, they're gonna do it at Mania if that match happens.
The AA off the ladder to someone.
So what
could that probably be? AJ versus Becky, and right. I assume they'll do like I could see them doing like
if Becky loses, she'll never challenge for the title ever again.
Something like, especially since they've done the whole tapping out gimmick a lot.
Yeah. I guess we just talked about that match now. Like I said, the opening, fun for AJ to get the moment. Wasn't a car wreck, but wasn't complete there. I think that's the thing. Obviously, she wouldn't be wrestling on a house show. I forgot to mention that. We were talking about Jade and Rhea, where people have brought up where house shows not being around. That's a match that they could have worked out before Mania, and you could have it where now you don't, right? I don't know if AJ be working house shows.
I need to put Jade on those house shows. Or I think her last two house show matches was she injured BFAB, and then they replaced her with Michin, and then she injured Michin on her last two house shows.
No more house shows for you, Jade.
Bailey was okay, but
damn. Yeah. But I guess I'm of two minds now after seeing this. At first, I was like, I hate that they're doing this before Mania. It loses that luster again because we already have so many at one point when we thought we were getting Cody and Drew, it's okay, Cody and Drew, Seth and Logan, it's like, it's rematch mania. There's one, I can't remember, there's one mania that is rematch mania. I'd have to find it, but it's like in the 20s where it's just a bunch of matches that happened before. I agree that I think a stip is neat here. You can have some fun with that. I don't even know if it's like a weapon stip, but something. But yeah, this is just like, it's just what it is, right? AJ hasn't wrestled in 13 years, and all she did was that tag match, which I think that match was like heavily choreographed. And I'm someone that liked that tag match. I didn't even know. I had to ask Seth, I didn't know that people really disliked that match. I enjoyed it, but like, I think this was maybe too long as well, in my opinion. They could have shortened it a little bit, but I hope it'll be a better outing. But it was for the moment, right? It's for AJ to win and for them to hold up the titles. They got what they wanted. So it was a fine enough start. It's like, to me, like a fine 3, but yeah, what do you think, David?
It was middle of the road match. There were some fun spots. There were also some weirdness to it. I am not a fan of the constant use of the ref that they had in that match. Like, it felt like they were overdoing it. You had the first ref bump, then you had
she didn't she didn't take the first bump. What happened there? Did she forget, or was that planned? Because they did the thing where Becky like ran into her, and then Jessica was just like, oh, like what happened? And then after Becky kicked her, so I wonder if someone screwed up there on that bump or not. Because there's a screw up in the finish bump too. Remember that the clothesline, they stopped and they reset. So there's a couple weird ones. So
and I just kept. I know, like, it's been part of Becky's gimmick to complain about the ref, especially Jess Carr, and complain about some other things, but it just felt like they kept going back to that a little bit too much for this match. I think the best that AJ looked in the match was when they were on the outside and, she's throwing her to the barricade and doing stuff like that. But in the ring, there was a couple of miscues and things like that. It also looked like she had a little bit of trouble applying her finisher the first time she did it when the ref was down and Becky tapped. It looked a lot neater for the finish, but the first time she did it, it looked like she was just like still getting used to getting into that stretch position again.
I think that's Becky's fault, actually, because people point this on the tag match that Seth took the Black Widow like perfectly, and every time it was on Becky, like the way Becky stands, AJ can never.
Does it weird, like all the time.
I think that's on like maybe she has like a joint injury or something, and she can't like fully extend because
it's those shoulder pads in the outfit. It's the shoulder pads in the outfit. She must not be able to get out.
Which what a strange like it isn't like a knock or anything. The outfit that Becky was wearing was like she had her classic like the singlet like trunks, but then it was like it morphed into a jacket. So I thought she could take off, but I was like, no, the trunks and the jacket were like merged. I've never seen that in wrestling, where it's like a long sleeve zip jacket merged with the shorts. It was a fascinating design gear. So
yeah, so now we're gonna run it. I assume we're gonna run this back at WrestleMania with a larger stipulation on it. But personally, I would have liked, like you said, them to wait for WrestleMania to do this match, but also get the fact that they wanted the image of both of them in Chicago with their belts. And then CM Punk got to post the funny thing that he posted on Instagram with the belts as a result. And Becky saying that title needed to be disinfected after that.
I wonder the Instagram post if you went to like the tag, like who was tagged in the photo was Seth and Becky.
Oh god. Seth's doing it. Seth's fucking having to wrestle Logan Paul WrestleMania. He's getting tagged in naked Punk pictures. My goodness. But and plus to your point, David, when you're talking about them on the image, they're not getting that image of Mania because again, everybody Punk's looking up at the lights. Romans win that title, cutting a promo, and then they're writing him off the night after.
We'll give you Chicago, but you're losing at Mania.
That's what's your thought on this match and any future thoughts?
I did really like this match, and for what you guys are saying, or David was saying how you thought the best AJ looked was like when she was outside of the ring. I actually thought she did look really good in this match. Just like I thought the opening stuff when they were sort of doing like more technical type stuff, like with all the counters and reversals. I thought that was really good stuff near the start. Just like all the pinfall attempts and getting into different submissions and holds and stuff like that. I think Becky is really good at that sort of stuff. And they did point out on commentary, like, oh, this is what like AJ Lee used to be like the standout at this stuff in the women's division, but now it's Becky. So I thought that the whole opening portion of it, and yeah, I guess in general, I thought AJ did look good out there, and I thought it was a fun match. I actually did like when they exposed like the turnbuckle. I was like, well, that's gonna be like the finish right away, and this is it. I did like that it went longer than that. Like after that is when they got to the outside and got the chair and stuff like that. I didn't like that. Like I like that it went longer than what I thought it was gonna be. Where it's like, oh, she exposes the buckle and this is gonna be the finish right here. And yeah, I'm curious for Mania. I mean, I do feel like it's just gonna be like a stip, like I said. I think if they did do like an I Quit or something like that, I can get it into more of like the plunder match territory, and still probably end it with the submission, I assume. So I don't really know if Becky's just gonna win it back. I could see her maybe not like just winning it at like Backlash or something instead of at Mania. Just for
if they
like
throw an I Quit stip on there's no way Becky's winning that back. Then could you imagine that if we're sitting there reviewing Becky and AJ the I Quit match and they made AJ quit in her third match back? Man, I'd have some words. So I agree with you. That I don't think it's like 100% lock. The only reason I lean that way is just the amount of times we've seen AJ. It just feels like, now granted you could make the IC title part-time if they wanted, but I just the amount of times we've seen her, it's like, does she want to win it again? Then you're kind of expected you're going to be seeing at least a few Raws or PLEs where that's where I feel maybe she could like win it here, do one match on Raw. That's why it sucks Roxanne's hurt right now, but it's not. I'm not 100%
I
locked,
think if she wrestles on Raw before Mania, or like not Raw before Mania, but like on a Raw before Mania, I would think she's losing at Mania.
Okay, that's that. Oh yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, because
like if she wrestles Bayley on Raw and like retains the title, then I would think she's like,
it's gonna be natty. Why did she eliminate Becky Lynch at the Rumble? What came of that? I'm not a weekly watcher, but she hasn't interacted with Becky Lynch at all, really, right? No IC title shot, nothing.
Nope.
I'm trying to think. I feel like there was one segment.
I just saw her kill Maxine on Raw.
I think there was one segment with like AJ, Becky, Maxine, and Natty that kind of looked like they were gonna do like a tag match, and then like after that there wasn't any follow up.
Yeah, but that was during the Natalia phase. Like since she switched to Natty.
No, it was definitely after, because it was
David's
after the Rumble.
I thought it was at the Rumble. David's fucking treating Natty and Natalia like Cactus Jack and Dude Love, like or the Fiend or Bray Wyatt, like
the three faces of Natty.
Yeah, there's Natalia Neidhart, Natty, and Natalia. There's three different people. God damn. We'll see. I'm ready for this feud to be over. I am. I know that's another. Anytime I'm on wrestling Twitter, I know it's a big debate all the time. I am on that side. I hate Becky Lynch as a character. I'm so done with and I know what I'm sick and tired of when people go, "Oh, well, she's parodying Trump. Oh, it's a parody of this." I get it. We get it's not the like, oh, I don't get the joke. We all get the fucking joke. It's just not funny. When I hate it's like the DQ finish. When I heard AJ was gonna be on Raw and I tuned in because to interrupt Becky, and I'm watching Becky doing this like, oh, you just ruined my life. Like I can't stand this at all. This is the least interested I've been in Becky Lynch since she was the last kicker and she was dancing the Irish jig music. Like get her back in the steampunk.
They trademarked the last kicker like a few days ago. She
did back to that. Perfect. After Mania reset. Here we go. I'll buy her shirt. But just like I have zero interest in this very over the top sort of character. I guess not very over the top in the sense of like a Danhausen stuff, but I mean like for what she's doing, I just can't invest in it at all, and I just feel like it's very similar, and I'm kind of over it. So the only thing I hope that comes from this is if she were to lose at WrestleMania AJ, it would be some sort of character shift or even toning the character down a bit, but I don't think so. I think she's having a good time. I feel like Becky Lynch is Triple H's equivalent to Jon Moxley for TK, where she's like, yep, Moxley. And it's funny, they're both have secondary titles just doing whatever the fuck they want right now. And it's the same way of like, Moxley last year.
They're wrestling El Clone on Dynamite.
Hey, it was a good match. I actually liked it, but the thing is, there's this is boring. There's nothing going on. And Moxley, first half of the year last year, terrorist. Last half, man, we love John Moxley. He's the Aces promotion. Back to fuck. What's he doing? We're doing nothing here. And that it's funny.
Okada, Fletcher, and Takeshita going for the trios belts.
Oh yeah, I saw. I just like, and again, and all these promos, everyone's holding the fucking title. It's like, what's going on? And why is Hangman? I kind of hope they win because I feel like that can add some drama. But again, like we'll talk about later. But like, what was the point of everything with Okada and Takeshita? Nothing. But that's the thing. It's just like, well, Moxley needs a title, and I think Becky's that too. Where it's just like, especially now the secondary titles, it's like, what should we do? Well, just let Becky do her stuff, and we'll give her the IC title, and then we'll draft her SmackDown. And she can have the US. Like that's why it feels like there's no urgency here, and I think there's actually a good version of the Becky AJ feud. For me, I'm not really seeing it right now. So I don't know. I'm not looking forward to 7 more weeks, even though I don't watch the product full time on the weekly. But the thing I don't know if I'm looking forward to or not is I hope in the future we never get another crate reveal, because we did get that. Now, granted, I'm going to say something. I think this reveal made WWE and AEW look really bad. People might be, oh, why AEW? Because everyone's been memeing on.
That was like, it's like this is what you AEW fans be watching over there. Like,
not that. Not my point of view for that is a good one. That's funny. But like my point of view is that we've talked about this so many times, right? There's the occasional talent, yes, but the so many times of why is Tony Khan, and it's his money, he's a billionaire, fuck me, he can do whatever he wants, right? But as a business guy who's trying to make AEW a profitable business, I just want wrestling business to succeed, right? So as a guy, and I don't know what Danhausen's getting paid, but I'm sure he's getting paid enough that you could give that to a different wrestler, you could give some people raises, you could buy some crew people. You had this guy iced out for his injury time and then picked up his option for a year for him to what? Come out and then just get booed at his debut. That makes you look fucking dumb. It's not like, oh, he came out and everyone loves Danhausen, he's trending. Oh my God. Yeah, he was trending all right, but for bad reasons. So I'm not saying it would have been the exact same, but I just mean like, that's where it shows of like, don't hoard the talent unless it's somebody that you feel, you know what, they could, like when they were doing that Punk, I understood. I don't think anyone should be, because this is like, not to get like too deep, but like the fact that WWE did that to Luke Harper, and look at that guy when he like Broly passed away a couple of years later. That guy fucking wanted to wrestle, he fucking wanted to work. So I'm not saying that should be the situation for everybody, but it's like, you don't know what's gonna happen in life. He should not have been sitting at home just waiting for WWE to call. He said, I want my release. They wouldn't release him, and then he wasted a year of his life just on the couch doing nothing. And it's the same thing here. If people want to work, let them work. If it's not really gonna hurt your business. Danhausen leaving didn't do anything. He's been gone for a year. And then look what happened here. WWE shot themselves in the foot. So it's like, that's where to me it made AEW and Tony Khan look bad, because like this is a situation of like, just let people go. If they want to go, like for the most part, you're saving yourself money. And then WWE, who like I cannot wait till if we ever find out whose idea this was, because I say this all the time. We're talking on Geek First or SideQuest. There's people, and we've talked about this before, when you're watching Unreal, there's billionaires or millionaires making these decisions, and you could ask someone like myself who's not making anywhere near that money, like, is this a good idea? And we tell you, no, unless if you're doing this box crate gimmick, and unless it is a Jericho or a big mainstream person that's going to pop the crowd, putting in Danhausen, who's not even that popular of an indie wrestler for like the mainstream, not like a name like, oh, AJ Styles, he's not that level, to come out, and even then, you have this guy on fucking payroll. Why is The Miz not out there cutting a bad promo for Danhausen to come there, hit his music, and hit his finish, leave? Why is he just going to walk in the middle ring?
It's all like from people in the crowd. Like, I did see multiple POVs and people who were at the show talk about it. It's like when he came out, there was a pop, and then the booing was like, people wanted to see him do something. Like,
what was that?
Like when he got in the ring, they were happy. When the lights went out and he just left, that's when they started booing, because it's like, well, he came out to do nothing. And he said, like, there's someone who was there who's talking about, like, there was the booing, and then obviously, like, the show went to commercial. And when he did see, like, people were chanting for, like, Oba to, like, come out and, like, beat him up or something. Like, people wanted something to happen.
Well, and that's, I just, again, every couple of weeks, I got to hear the Miz apologist coming back, you know, he's one of the greatest of all time, you know. It's okay, if he is, get him out there, have him cut a shit promo, and then Danhausen levels him and leave. Like, anything. Like, whose idea, who's getting paid 6 figures, like, well, he's going to be in a box, and he's gonna walk out, pose, and we're gonna cut to commercial. That's it. That's gonna get the guy over. I'm not saying this is his career's DNA. I'm not saying he can't be an R-Truth and be a comedy guy.
To listen to who is it Cornette or Russo who said the thing about anything that comes out of a box is over.
I think it's Russo, because pretty sure when I used to listen to someone wrestle, he always says that as a joke, like, oh, put them in a box, they come out and they're over. So I think it's Russo, and that's where it's just, I don't know who did this, whose idea it was, and it just starts him off on a bad foot, and I feel bad about this for this guy because he's gotten this indie gimmick over. He came to AEW injured, so he couldn't wrestle, got himself over, and then you hear mixed reports of
this trivia. Do you know how many matches he wrestled in his entire AEW career?
I know because I saw the tweet. So ask David, because I don't think David saw the tweet. So I think I was spoiled on it.
I have no idea. I know he was relegated to Ring of Honor for a while, and
I'd say give it
a guess. We'll give you a hint. It's under 10.
Dang. So this is just AEW. This is not Ring of Honor, right? Just AEW.
I think his only Ring of Honor appearance was appearing from under the ring.
Yeah, I don't know if he ever. I think he was there, but I don't think he ever wrestled in ROH. Yeah. And then people.
All right, so I'm gonna say 6.
You're close.
Actually higher. It was. Well, I'll just say it was 9. He had 9.
Oh, it was 9. Okay, I saw some run that I thought was 7, but so he's close to double digits. But and then with him, and again, who knows? There's rumors it's because he's Punk's friend. There was rumors that he told Tony Khan he couldn't work Saturdays for Collision, and then they caught him working indies, and they're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you told us you couldn't work. So it sounds like there's
the bootleg merch rumor that he's selling bootleg AEW merch.
Yes, there was. So it sounds like there's a lot of stuff going on there. I wish him the best. I do, because I saw a lot of people taking the opportunity that don't like Danhausen to be like, yeah, this guy's a fucking jobber. Look, he looks like a middle school. Like, I like Danhausen. I like Dan. I'm not saying I need him to be winning titles. I'm fine with some comedy stuff.
Responding to one of those posters, like, "Oh, he's so small" or something, and it was just a screenshot showing it was Andrade 5'9", Danhausen 5'10".
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just the physical aspect, but we'll see. I think there's 2 scenarios here. I think he can become a comedy guy that's around for a long time, or I think he's a guy that jobs a couple time. He goes to AAA, and then in 3 years we're saying, the Danhausen thing. Like, I don't know. I do agree with people that Triple H post game interview, that to me felt like this guy has not. That's definitely like, you guys book him, make him do something, and we'll see. There's just lots of people on this roster, so. We will find out. And then finally, nothing too big here. We got CM Punk and Finn. Like I said, I thought this was a good match. Not as good as the Raw one. I shout this already in the Discord. One of the greatest counters I think I've ever seen. So shout out to Finn and CM Punk, the coup de grace into the catching his leg into a sharpshooter. Holy hell. And that was clean. It wasn't even fumbling. It was clean. 2K, add that next year. Somebody work on that. I want to counter every dive with a sharpshooter, even if they're doing a 450 somehow.
You actually can.
Really? I gotta play the wrestling game more.
Finishers, if someone is the catching finishers in 2K are so annoying to do. You have to do it frame perfect, but
it has to be like this. It has to be
if someone is diving off the top and you have a finisher store and you can set sharpshooters one where it's it isn't as clean because it's you'll kind of just kick them and then get them into a sharpshooter, but if someone's coming off the top, you technically can counter into a
okay. That's nice. I like that. But you guys got any other thoughts? Rollins on Raw tomorrow. He's gonna be targeting Punk. I'm excited for the promo.
Yeah, I did like their Raw match more just because I felt like I like the dynamic more of the heel Punk with face Finn. I thought it was more fun there. But this was still a good match, like you said. Obviously, great moment there with the counter, and also the moment where Finn was calling for Dominic and JD to come out, and they never came out.
Oh, so I missed it. I thought they were just alluding that he actually called for that.
He did this, and then Cole was I heard I saw JD and Dominic backstage today. And then they never came out. So
what are they doing with Finn Balor? I don't understand it. Before David, let me just rant here for a quick minute. He fights CM Punk. They had this great match. They shake hands. He gets the music back. He's on his way to being a babyface. Everyone's ready. No, a couple weeks later, we need a chair match. He goes heel on Punk. Okay. At the end of this match, He shook Punk's hand. That's a babyface move. Why is he doing that? If in the middle of the ring, he's calling for interference. Who is fucking booking this? Like, who? Like those things don't make sense.
Made him turn face.
They don't make sense. Yeah, I guess like they don't make sense. You have a heel turn and like a heel thing and a babyface thing in the same match. What's going on? You can't call for people and then be like, oh, thanks, that was a good one. That's like fucking WrestleMania, whatever, when they had Triple H and Sting, and Triple H cheated, hit Sting with a sledgehammer, and after the match, Sting was like, yeah, good match, man. I was like, what? You don't shake his hand. He cheated. He hit you with a CTE weapon, and you're shaking this motherfucker's hand? Like, I missed that he called him back. What is happening? Like, oh my God. It just boggles my mind what they're doing with this man.
It's like they wanted him to go face after the first match with Punk, and then they were like, "Oh shit, we got one more pay-per-view to go before WrestleMania. We need you to go back. we got to turn him back heel real quick."
Yeah, Finn, I would have rather them just like they still haven't done on WTV. Oh right, no, Dom was hurt. Never mind. I was gonna say they still haven't done Dom and CM Punk. Like Dom and CM Punk have been Instagram and tweeting at each other for a few, like it feels like it's been building for like 2 years.
It's literally been since his WWE return because his first match back was house show match against Dom.
In MSG against Dom. And that's where like, and I think on TV and maybe
that figure where he has the wrong gear.
Yeah. And I guess he's dropping it to Roman. I would have been completely fine if he was healthy. And maybe that was a plan of Dom I'm going to go for 2 titles, right? But it's like, there's nobody like, I don't know, heat up Rusev for a couple weeks or something. I don't know, do the AEW. So it's strange. And again, like, why should I want to cheer for Finn Balor if you said I give you my word, I'm not going to cheat. And then like, he's trying to get his friends out of their cheat. Like, why do I care about him as a babyface?
Yeah, because they mentioned on the walkout that JD and was not coming out with him. Like, yeah, the Judgment Day are staying in the back, he's going to do this solo, but then he still does the call for him. So it's like, which one are you?
Like after what spot he did do the call? Because I remember doing it, but I don't remember. Maybe it was like, I think it might have been like after the coup de grace, like kick out. And
still, so what? He can't beat him, and he's like, "Oh fuck, no, come on." Yeah. It's like that's like when you are playing W2K and you're wrestling as a babyface and you can't beat him. Like the ref gets bumped, and you're like, "All right, I'm gonna get this chair."
That's what I always do. Yeah, just knock the referee out.
It's like, you know what? This match been going on for 15 minutes. I'm gonna lose. Let's just cheat here, and that's what it felt like. So. I don't know. I imagine they're just going to do Finn and Dom or something at Mania or some multi-man for the IC title. Penta's going to lose for his fucking 80th time tomorrow. What are we doing with Penta? I don't know, man.
I don't know. So, to your point about 2K, I need that now as a spot. So, they have that wrap-up button when you're playing. So now if you hit that wrap it up button when the computer's playing, I need for them to just call some ref bump, call somebody out.
The ref just falls. And you can just do whatever and then that's done, They should have that. The same way in like a Mario Kart, they have like a self-driving for the kids. They should do like you think you're going to lose, just wrap it. Like the ref will just die there. It'll go full Earl Hebner on you. Yeah. They should have that. I guess you couldn't do a game ender. I would love it if someone had a heel thing where you could like save it up and like do a screw job finish in the match. Like if you like stock up like 3 to 5 finishers and you could do like you put someone in submission and right away the ref calls it. I would love them to do that. But
you can only do that like if you're playing as the guest referee.
Yeah, that's fair. But and I guess this has happened after because we had talked about it. Roman is on Raw talk about Punk. I should say this because Espos did say this that yes, I've been calling for this shit for 2 years. Finally, they talked about the goddamn podcast. I was very excited. I was more so on the level, like, I think Punk did good, but he was like, man, he was obsessed with his door mount analogy in that promo, and he kept trying to get it over, and the crowd was, like, not digging it. He's like, but if you want to get that mountain, you know what I mean? And it was like yeah, like it wasn't much, but Roman, big dog, woke up finally. And, it's part promo, but that guy has been holding that shit for 20 or 12 years now. And that's what it had to be. This is what I wanted last year. And I was worried, like I said, Punk just being like, oh, you want to be the man around here. And it's the same thing. I don't know why he does this because he saw it happen with Seth when he's trying to do the like, yeah, and I'm a full-time guy and you're a part-timer. crowd don't give a fuck. Roman comes out, they pop like anything. So it's like when Seth, like, you left 12 years ago, you left us, and the crowd doesn't care. They're like, well, he's back, I'm gonna cheer him. So it's like, I hope Punk, because he's already done it a few times of like, I'm still here, like, and the crowd boos. I guarantee you that promo was a couple weeks ago. I think it was on the AJ show, which was disappointing. Yeah, he said like, oh, well, I'm here, where's Roman? And the crowd boos. I guarantee you, if Roman's music hit, they would turn and they'd be throwing up their fucking one. So like, they just do that because they're mad he's not there. But I am very interested. I think it could be 50-50. I think the match at Vegas could be really hot, but I do think that was great. I think Roman really delivered there, and I think he did, like, I don't care. He outmeted Punk there in like the presentation and the promo. Like he just had something about him, which is good. And hey, Punk says he brings the best. Maybe that's the case. I feel like I'm getting the feud. And even Roman's tweet last night of like, I don't know who's more tired, the crowd or the champion. Absolutely, like, go for this type of stuff. So I think Roman has like, is it 3 or 4 Raws? I don't know. It's something like that. But this was a good start. I hope they keep the momentum and just. They can do one crowd brawl, sure. They'll do one pole part, but then keep going the promos, keep that. But Roman, perfect note of talking about everything that happened, because that is like a legit huge part of wrestling history, and that helped people turn on Roman because like, oh, Punk doesn't like him, we don't like him either, you know, because it's just like, oh, he's getting favoritism and that. Like, it should be a big thing for that character. So yeah, I was very happy with that, and I will watch that promo tomorrow. When Roman's there, I'll be excited, and I'll be I'm ready for I don't know how it's gonna go for Roman when he wins the title. I feel like Roman in his mind thinks he's like gonna recreate the, like, not the run, but just the success.
Title reign, Roman versus Jay. Roman versus Solo. Roman versus Jimmy.
Yeah, no, like, I just feel like he's like, oh, I'm gonna get to those levels of success again. But it's like, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I don't know. We'll see. So, anything else WWE related we haven't touched upon? NXT big turn for US Bubs.
Yeah.
Big angle this week.
I got my JC Jane shirt on here.
Still champ.
Yeah.
So who's taking this thing off her then? Because I think Soul's gonna be a little busy, right? If not, she might not even be winning the title because she might be going to the roster.
I think the stand and deliver match is probably gonna be Soul versus Zarya.
Yeah,
like, not for the title.
I mean, like,
what Soul's gonna be doing at stand and deliver.
Yeah, because she's gonna do the same thing, right? She's probably gonna screw because her title shot is this week against Jane.
This week, yeah.
Yeah, and I imagine Soul's gonna probably, even if just her music hits, right, like, screws her up somehow. But I'm really excited for that match. I will be watching. I'm excited to see. I think they have a good one. Yeah, I really liked the turn.
Like,
too.
I've seen people say, like, I wonder. I feel like it's interesting because I feel like they'll do just the normal singles, but if it's like Soul's last time at NXT, maybe they do some stip for it.
Yeah, they could. I think either way, I think she could get killed in that. Like whether, even if she wins a match, I think she's gonna get killed and then send her off. But
but for the NXT title at Stand and Deliver, I'm still thinking it's gonna be like Kendall Gray winning it there.
Winning it, not even just challenge, winning it. You think?
Yeah, I think so. Because I feel like they're kind of doing that story where it's like, she's like, it's the Jey Uso story. She's like, if I could challenge it, like, I know I can win. Like, if I could challenge one more time, I would win it. It's pretty much what she said. And she's like tried to get title shots, and like it hasn't worked out for various reasons.
Does she still have? I think she still has the Evolve title.
She's like the Roman Reigns Evolve. Like, she defends that title like every week and just beats everyone.
She's just gonna Joe Oba drop it soon.
I think they're gonna Evolve, like, they have like their like sort of special events, not really like PLEs, but I think there is one maybe this week where it's funny because it's like all the special events go to like a bigger and bigger stages. Like main roster PLEs are like in stadiums. Like NXT PLEs are like in the Raw and SmackDown like level venues, and then Evolve is filmed in like some random room in the PC, but then their specials are like in the NXT like arena.
I see.
So which they film before like some episodes of NXT.
Yeah.
I think
which they did announce Stand Deliver will be a week before Mania 2, which I think is probably smarter this go around. I think
it's a couple. Is it a week before? Or is it like a couple?
Well, actually, maybe 2. Yeah, maybe 2 weeks. I think it is a single digit. I think you're right.
Like April 4th or something like that. Like a month away.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Anything else? Any other big things?
I don't really know what, and I assume because they're doing Joe and Ricky at like Vengeance Day, which is this week.
Yeah, Stand and Deliver is April 4th, so it's 2 weeks ahead.
Okay.
So I don't know what Joe's probably still going to be the champion by then. So I don't really know who
they could do. They could also do a Becky AJ thing, right? Where this is like the first match, and then they run it back.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, I could see that. Which that'll be interesting pairing with those two. So we'll see. So Ricky's just waiting to get called up, or Danhausen's fucking coming out of box already main roster.
Well, Ethan Page finally lost his North American title.
Yeah.
He tied with the longest reign with Ova. Like tied exact same amount of days.
Time to get him up there. Get him up there. The Vision needs people. Seth Rollins needs a WrestleMania opponent. There you go, So yeah, we will see. S-Bubs, do you have those draft results? If you don't know, it's the second annual draft. We'll do this at the WrestleMania Predictions because that was our very first show. We draft 10 superstars, and it works like a fantasy football where we get points and deductions based on wins, losses, returns, title defenses, Rumble wins, all that type of stuff. And
something I'm not sure about is because I'm not sure if last year did we end like before Rumble or did we count Rumble as points? Because I was looking at the rules and I don't have anything written about like I have like that Rumble and Money in the Bank give like 100 points, but I have nothing written about Chamber. So
I don't think we did with Chamber.
Yeah,
I don't know if we did or not because I feel like it's just a number one contenders match. Like, I know it's a big thing, but it's not like
a stipulation match, not like a Rumble match.
No, I think so. No one's ever being like, remember who won the Chamber that year? It's like it's just kind of like
so I guess
sure.
Would that also count? Because what we also do is like for Mania, like if someone loses their Rumble shot, that's like minus a bunch of points. Does it also count for Chamber? Because I looked back and I did count it for Chamber for like.
Well, if you count it, then we should keep it counted. We'll keep with history.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So next year, if you get Rhea and Randy, it's a punishment. Yeah. So Rhea and Randy, they got some troubles there if you draft them. So.
Okay. So I do have the final points then.
And then
perfect. I'll read them here. So in third place is David with 701 points. To end
tough year
season.
on the injuries, David. Tough year on the injuries.
Man.
Then in second place is me with 1,132 points. And then in first place is Travis with 1,259 points.
Wow.
It's only about 100 away.
I want to give a big shout out to Danhausen for being in that box and not Chris Jericho. Because that could have hurt me big time. So I'm very thankful for that. And I'm happy to get a win here. So I'm looking forward to next year. Always happy to win a draft. I love drafts. So I'm looking forward to next year. See if I can draft some people. But yeah, we got in March. We're gonna have the draft, and then we're gonna have GMO starting. So 2 competitions starting. So we'll see. I hope a streak can go. So congratulations, guys, and David. I hope you got some better luck next year with your injury bugs, and you can take Jericho though. He's coming at some point.
I'm gonna need no one else to break a knuckle or anything else like right at the height of their career.
Yeah, the Bianca one. that's fucking crazy how that happened. So
yeah.
Me and Travis also we did our casket match cheese, but in real life with drafting Rusev and Aleister Black.
That's true.
For the first thing, and then just immediately dropping them.
Yeah, that's true. We did get a couple of cheats there, and we lost in Nelson.
I had thought about it like mid-season. Like if I had just drafted like Nikki Bella and Goldberg and Trish Stratus like in the middle of the year, I could have just got so many points just for one match. But
we gotta look into that now for next year. So let me see here. Okay, so I will pull up the card because we'll do a mini predictions here because we won't have a cast likely before Revolution. So just what's on there now. I shared myself. There we go. So right now, all we have is 4 matches. 2 weeks away already. My goodness. I don't know why we're doing this. I love both teams. We got FTR and Young Bucks doing it again. I guess we're just killing time till Edge and Christian are around. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm really hoping Dynasty, which I'm going to. If people don't know, Vancouver, Canada. If that's the place to have Edge and Christian win those titles, they can't do in Toronto. I'll happily take, one of my favorite tag teams doing it there. But I just think I think Bucks is like, it's been nice to see that they've like turned it around. They're getting the reactions. I think it's fun. I just don't know who else they would have put here, but Bucks and FTR has maybe happened one too many times, but I think just, FTR is keeping it. I don't think anyone else thinks that any otherwise.
Yeah, no, I think FTR is going to keep it.
I'm sure. I mean, I could see the Young Bucks just winning it, and just like their faces now, people like them, just put it on them again. Especially since FTR is kind of like, the reign has just kind of been weird because there's not really been like any faces. They've just like fought heels the whole time. So there's not really much room for getting like reactions.
It feels like the male or the tag version of what the back half of Tony and Mariah May was, where it's like, well, we just got to wait for Edge and Christian to get back, and like,
and that's the only thing is the Rascals have like a future shot at some point, and I feel like they might just like, let's just do the Young Bucks Rascals 5-star match at some point.
Oh yeah, Meltzer's excited for that. Do you not think that Edge and Christian are going to get those tag titles?
I feel like it's weird with the whole thing. Like, it kind of felt like everyone was like, this is definitely what's going to happen at like, oh, it's going to happen at, what was it, All Out. And then it was just like a normal match without the titles. And then they won the titles, and there really hasn't been any sign of Cope and Christian. So at this point, I don't really know what's going on with that. So, yeah. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if the Young Bucks just won.
That's fair, yeah. David, what about you?
I right now I have FTR keeping it. I think they're gonna then go on to face the Rascals or some of the different teams that they're going to build up. But to that point, I could see them just for saying fuck it and doing the switch with the Young Bucks and just keeping that going, that back and forth volley going back. I don't want that to happen. But also, it could be one of these. We don't know what we're doing with our tag team division right now, so we're just gonna keep trading it back and forth.
Copeland has to shoot another season of Percy Jackson. He's not gonna be back for Dynasty, so we're gonna delay. Because I still think they're gonna do Bucks and Edge and Christian at some point. I think that's a have to. That's like a quote unquote dream match. We'll see. But again, I think they delivered with FTR, so I think that's going to happen. My trajectory is I think they beat FTR for the tag titles, have a short run, and I think they drop it to the Bucks. I could see that being the all-in match is Bucks versus Edge and Christian for the tag titles. I really could, and then they get the titles there. So I forgot on Dynamite because Dave, you might watch it. Because it was gonna be Swerve and Kenny. Kenny has to be in Japan for like a fighting game turn thing. They Swerve is teasing with somebody right now. I think it's
Swerve and Brody King, right?
Yes, because the whole Dangerous Man gimmick. Right, yes, that's what happened. Yeah, and Brody had a good match with MJF. Easily with a bullet right now. My match year, Kenny Swerve last week was phenomenal. Not only the match, I gave it like, I couldn't drop the full 5 stars yet. I'm going to watch again in the future. I gave it like a 4.75, but maybe a little like the AJ Becky, a lot of ref bumps going on there, but the slow Swerve heel turn was fantastic. These guys had great chemistry. The character dynamics. I love that Kenny Omega is not just fucking like, oh my gut wrestling. That's over. He's like just being Kenny Omega again. Like that match was so good. So right now, it's probably a 5 star. I just have to watch it again because I felt like there's something where it's like, I don't know. I like we said, sometimes you just gotta feel it. But I almost felt bad about not giving it 5 stars. But that was my match. I love Swerve. I love what he's doing right now with the heel stuff. I think him and Brody will be really good. I'm really hoping I can get MJF and Kenny at Dynasty because I'll be there live. I think people need to relax. I keep seeing people booking though, like, oh, Kenny's going to beat MJF and it's going to be Ospreay versus Kenny. Now, don't get me wrong. At All In, I would prefer that. That would be the tiebreaker.
I mean, it's calm with MJF versus Ospreay.
100%. Yeah, 100% it's MJF versus Ospreay. I think they want a full heel there. I think that's almost like not as bad, but it's like the Logan, Seth match. It's like, we've done this at All In, and it's just like...
Especially if he does like... I don't think he does like the American thing again. At least I hope he does.
Yeah, I hope that's what I mean. Like,
I feel like that would be too much of it, just like a rematch.
I don't think he will, but it's just still it's lingering there, right? And it's just where I don't know. So they did it already All In London, but no, Kenny and Swerve was phenomenal. Swerve will beat Brody King, which was so funny because like Brody, I can't remember who he wrestled on Dino. Oh, he wrestled Mark Davis. And he's like, oh, and then if I get this shot, if I win, that puts me back in line for a title shot. It's like, dude, you just lost like it was like 4 days ago or something. It's like, you're not gonna like, it's the most outrageous stuff. Like, one, it's Mark Davis, but two, it's like when he said, I'm like, what do you mean in line? Like, you're far back there, man. It's like there's Swerve.
I mean, in AEW, if you beat like anyone, you'll be in line for the title. So
look at Kevin Knight.
I was about to say Kevin Knight's next up.
Don't get me wrong. In this decade, if I were to list you like some of my favorite newer people that I didn't watch before, and then this decade, Kevin Knight's top 3. I love Kevin Knight. He's in there. He has a natural charisma. He can work like a wrestling style, but not also just spot after spot after spot. The fact that it's just like he cut a little promo on MJF, and I'm just like, sure, you know, match. I don't like that. I think that should be more of like a loser wrestler that should get that of like MJF, like, sure, you know, Danhausen are like, sure, I'll give you a shot, right? I mean, I get it.
MJF defended his title against Zilla.
I get it. I know you're gonna say that. I know that, and that's what he's doing, right? He's doing the Ric Flair gimmick right now from the 80s and NWA. I understand it. I just like for Kevin Knight's first shot, I didn't want to be like, here's a handout title shot. I want to even just put him in a 4-way. Put it in like a, hey, one of these people. And I also, this is a Travis pet peeve, I hate matches where both Moxley and MJF are defending, but in 2 weeks they got a title match at a pay-per-view. There's some like it just ruins any drama, any chance. It's just like this just doesn't work for me.
Have any of them actually been for the title, or are they all eliminators?
For Moxley?
Yeah.
No, I guess no. You're right. I think you're right.
I think they might be all eliminators. They
okay,
still use
so
the
then,
rules because it's like sort of for the title. But
and same
really.
thing. Then why not just do an eliminator? Because like, is Kevin Knight really gonna roll up MJF and get the win this Wednesday? No. Like, I think it'll be a good match, but like, I don't know. I don't love that.
If they don't do eliminator, it might be like, because eliminator is like if you lose, you can't challenge for it like again while that person has it, which means maybe they want Kevin Knight again at some point during this reign.
Knight Ospreay, all in, you know. Yeah,
that's, and that's like what you're thinking for not just doing, or just to say like, oh, we're pushing the young guy, he's getting a world title shot.
Yeah, no, that's fair. With Swerve and Kenny, I don't think you watched Match, or did you?
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, near the
end.
Go
watch it.
Yeah, even if you have to wait till, make sure you put on your like to watch list for the back half. Kenny, you know, second month of the year, he's always doing those match years, then he'll bounce out for a couple months. But last year he did that classic Gabe Kidd. He's like, I'm good. I gave you guys a 5-star, I'm out. But Dave, what do you think about also got Swerve and Brody, I guess, in 2 weeks, but then Swerve and Kenny and that going on?
I liked what Swerve has been doing in the last couple of weeks. Like, they're really building him back up since his return, and he's looking strong. I'm glad that he switched back to, you know, being like more of a heel and not that kind of in between. All right, I'm hanging with Hangman, but I still have this bad streak. Like, he's full on just like, no, nothing's gonna stop me from getting back to the world championship. Yeah. And I like that version of Swerve. So,
which I can't wait till him and Hangman. They've on purpose not let them interacted since this happened. It's only been 2 weeks, but I'm very curious when they interact again this time to see what's happening, you know?
Yeah, so. And that's what I hope that they're building up to. I'm hoping that they're building up to this, hey, we were on the same page at one point, but now you have what I want, and I'm going to go through. We've proven before, and I'm going to prove again that I'm willing to go through hell in order to get this back.
And I know there's the memes of people making the mean Swerve face and he's going to screw Hangman this weekend. The only reason, like, I want there to be a reason for that, right? I just don't want them to do, because he has no reason. Like, if Hangman beats MJF, that's like, it's no fucks given for Swerve, right? It's just like, okay, then I'll beat Hangman. So if that happens, I don't want it just to be like, oh, for a moment, for a shock, like, who did this all with Swerve? Like, I want there to be something, so I kind of hope that's not the route. And honestly, if they're not in the title picture, I think what they should do is they should do Hangman Swerve at All In as like a big singles, and that could even be like maybe a blow off or something, like, because the last match they had, Hangman like poisoned him in the middle of the ring. Like, they do have to like finish something, so that is my title match. Have it Swerve Hangman, just pure, just to settle the score. So.
Yeah.
And then on that front, I guess let's see, the other matches, Moxley and Takeshita, before we get to Mito. I don't know, Moxley wins, and then I'm just bitter at TK for what they're doing with Takeshita. I don't understand it. I'm sure it could be a good match, and kudos to Moxley for doing that call for like after they did the time limit and the crowd was pissed. The guy just hit me with their finish. Smart guy, but I don't know. I think I'm tired of Takeshita kind of being like the bridesmaid position, But I think Moxley wins, and I just hope the Death Riders fucking turn on him, Like, I know at first it's like, oh, well, Moxley, he's down to do that, but he wants to do it his own way. I would have much rather been watching at least a couple months of him like feuding with them and just trying to get revenge versus just like, all right, title defense, and that's kind of it. But anyone else seen Takeshita pick up a win here or anything?
No, he just won the TV title in Japan, so I think they're gonna.
You'll have Okada walk out on the ramp, and then he'll look at Okada and win.
Can you imagine he wins the like on like a grand like a, what is it, the belt Tuesday or whatever? Especially just beats him for the New Japan TV title.
Oh, yeah. What was it called?
Battle of the Belts.
Yeah,
Battle of the Belts. Yeah.
I feel like that got retired along with the Rampage.
Yeah, they killed it. Is your king keeping the title here, Moxley?
I think so. I don't really know who he loses it to, because I feel like the Death Riders now are like they're both heels and faces.
So annoying. I hate it. I hate it. I think you can do that with a group, but not the fucking Death Riders who were like started as like neo-Nazi, we're gonna kill you group. Like they can't be the like sometimes we're having a good time with the conglomeration. It's like no, like just pick like flip over. Like I don't know. I'm just gonna assume it's one of the Death Riders eventually. I don't know when. If it's my money, it's fucking Marina Shafir. Have her fucking beat him for the title, but it's probably Claudio or Pac or something. Like that's I think we'll go to.
I think they are doing. I think a Tony versus Marina match on Dynamite. I think.
Oh, nice.
It should be interesting because they did one because Marina has been getting like pushed obviously, but she hasn't actually beat any no,
she's just intimidating.
Matches they just and they did do Tony and Marina like a few weeks or months back, but it just ended in DQ. Like it was like, well, they kind of wanted her to beat Tony, but also it's Tony, so you can't have Marina beat her.
No, you can't. That has to be.
How this go? Like if she beats Tony here, it's like okay, they're actually gonna push her into something.
Yeah.
And if not, then I don't really
I just don't know what they'd push her into because, like, and we'll talk about in a second. We did talk about like Tekla. They're not pushing her heel Tekla unless Death Riders are full baby face. They're not going to Willow because
in her corner clapping, slapping the back.
Yeah, they're not going to Willow because they're clearly going to do at least Willow, Megan Bane first right now. So maybe down the line, but they're doing that. So I don't know. I could see something else schmozzy happening in this match and kind of like I don't know.
Secret lover revealed.
Oh God! Right.
They brought it back too. Like last week, like she got another thing of flowers, and it's like, oh, I guess it wasn't Marina.
It's like that and Jacob Fatu's attacker. It's like, where are these storylines going? I could even see something though where this match ends in chicanery and they actually do like a full PLE or pay-per-view match at Revolution here. I would say a weapons match, but because you have a death match, I don't know if they want to. But you know what? AEW does that all the time where it's like, let's book 3 stip matches in a row. And everyone's like, this was a bad idea. So you know what? I could see something like that. Like they've done it before, like with her feet. I could see them doing some fucking like bare knuckle boxing or like or Taipei death match, like a gimmick. Match. Like, yeah, because her and didn't they do that with Monet, right? In the Hollywood ending, right? Tony Storm dipped her tape in like something. Yeah, so
the Hollywood ending.
Yeah, and I could. Marina would be down for that. Like, just do something like that. So we'll see. We talked about in the Discord, the one meant to escape Guantanamo Bay Banditos versus Andrade Al Idolo. I think it's for ROH title. I
don't think so.
No, right now it is just a singles match. It is just a regular ass match.
Okay, so they want Andrade to win, but they don't want to be the ROH champion.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think the story for this match was Brody was gonna fight Swerve, and then Bandito's there. And it's like, I want a match on Revolution, and Andrade came out, and they pointed at each other, and they're like, this is the match for Revolution.
Right, cool. Fuck me. I some of these booking decisions, man. Like, if you're not gonna do
every time I see like a clip of what Bandito's actually doing in ROH, there'll be clips of him getting beat up by like Blake Christian and like Scorpio Sky, and so I don't really know what they're doing. So I mean, it's the same like and Athena too. Like I feel like Athena is like barely even on ROH nowadays.
Yeah.
Like she's a champion, but she'll be on like the pay-per-views, but on the week I feel like I see no clips or anything of her like on like the weekly ROH.
She's Roman Reigns in it, man. She's the Roman Reigns of ROH, you know. So
I did see a tweet. She said she wanted to pass Bruno Sammartino.
She might at this point. My God. That annoyance aside, Bandito and Andrade gonna have a great match. Andrade's on fucking. He's literally in peak form. Is he taking some stuff to get to peak form? Maybe, but
you know what match I actually watched yesterday? I watched it on a Discord call. I watched Andrade versus Carlito on an indie for like a few weeks ago. It was a hilarious match, I'll say. Like I'd probably give it like 1 star. They both wrestled with their shirts on the whole match.
Oh, wow.
Besides Andrade, he did take his shirt off like right before the finish. The finish was a ref bump. It was Carlito spitting at Apple at the referee, which let Andrade hit his finisher. I think Carlito maybe took a total of like 2 bumps in this match. They fought in the crowd. Carlito threw Andrade like into the classic spot where there's like all the chairs set up. You like throw someone. Yeah. Andrade took that. There was maybe like 70 people in the crowd, but it was a good time.
What's Andrade doing? You're in New Japan and AEW. You don't gotta be taking these 70 crowd chairs bumps or whatever, these spots.
I don't even know if anyone even knows this match happened, but
I didn't tell you. Told me now. I don't know Carlito.
Also, Carlito came out to no entrance music. Nice. I don't know if it was just not working or actually no, because Andrade did
heel Ciampa.
So yeah, he just came out to no music.
Well, either way, I think him and Bandito will be a much better match. Andrade is doing his best work of his career, and I hope TK books him correctly. But I think if the title's on the line, I think we all agree Andrade is winning. And
yeah.
Cool. And then finally, as right now, obviously more will be added. I'm sure we're getting Darby versus Gabe Kidd because they fucking just like, oh, well, Darby can't feud the Death Riders because they're kind of baby faces sometimes. So what do we do? Well, Gabe Kidd's like Death Rider adjacent. He's not a baby face. So you fight him for a few months. This needs to end. Darby needs to do something else. Get him a tag team partner. I don't care. I'm done with this. And then we have MJF versus Adam Page in a Texas death match. If Hangman Page loses, he can never challenge for the world title ever again. You have your name, S-Bubs. S-Bubs. March 15th. What is happening with this match?
I think Hangman is losing.
And then is he... So you think he just never is world champ again now?
I think so.
David, I'm gonna throw to you.
I don't see where that happens now. If they had the stipulation of he can't challenge as long as MJF is the champion, then yes, easy. I could see him losing. But I don't think they would go full Cody, to your point, again. And have that stipulation because I mean Cody's talked so much about how that was not a good choice. Other people have talked about how that boxed them into a corner. It doesn't make sense to go with that.
So yeah, I'm a few minds of if they do that and it's just legit like he's not gonna challenge title. The full Cody. Then I have serious questions for him. For TK, anybody back there, it's just like this was at least in the early years of AEW when people were like,
"Title it all in."
Like this is like that he'll invoke it somehow. But this is like the early years of AEW when like there was very little critiques. That was one like, oh yeah, that was kind of a screw up. You guys shouldn't have done that. So it's like. And I guess I'm fine with this. People brought up that like, well, what if he does it? And then as he uses a heel turn down the line and be like, you know what, screw that. I'm not going to do it. It's like, I guess. But then it's like that thing of like stipulations in wrestling, just like it loses its luster. And if anyone ever says that again, then I know, okay, they could just go back on their word and be like, you know what, actually I'm a dick now. So I'm just going to challenge for it. So I don't know. I don't like this either way. I think the match will be great, but I don't know. I'll have to see how this all plays out. But I just like the way we looked at last year with All In, where the plan was Moxley and Darby, and then Heyman just kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter. What happens if that ever happens again, or with any talent, right? And it's like, well, they can't be the main thing. And that's where it's like, sure, Cody had the TNT title, but just felt like, well, he can't be in the main storyline, even though at one point he was the most over babyface in AEW. You look at his last few months, that is not the case. But for a while, when he's backflipping off the cage and he's taking those straps by MJF, no one was hotter in wrestling than Cody Rhodes at that point. He was the fucking guy, and he couldn't have a world title. So like, oh, let's do a TNT title. So it's just, I don't know, like it's the whole that's literally the definition of insanity, is doing this again and expecting a different result. I don't get it. Unless, which I don't think either, unless Hanger is on his way out, and I don't think he's going to WWE. I wouldn't be like opposed to it. I love like I love the concept of AEW. I love a lot of stuff they're doing right now. Obviously, AEW has peaks and valleys. I do prefer WWE, so I would not want him to go so he could sell these matches. But sure, if he wants to go, everyone will. If you don't know, like around the ROH time, there was always like, oh yeah, Triple H is a big Hangman. He likes Hangman, and the joke is just because he's like Adam Cole or Drew. He looks like He looks like Triple H at some point of his career. Like I remember when I had the beard and the long hair like that. Like he's very Triple H coded. That's why on the Elite, I'm not sure if you've ever seen this episode, I suppose, where Triple H like kidnaps Hangman Page. And they had Frankie Kazarian. You should find
like, it. The one I've seen a bunch of times, like the like when Cody's possessed.
The Exorcism. Yeah,
but that one also has like a Triple H appearance where he just like appears for a second, like with the sledgehammer. Like
it's Frankie Kazarian playing Triple H, yeah. And they did this whole thing where they did like a montage. It was Bucks at the Indies, and they go to Dave Meltzer, like, "Hey, what have you heard about Hangman? He's missing." And Dave Meltzer, he's just like, "I heard he's on his way to Connecticut." So there's all these rumors of his contract expiring, like in just like the ROH New Japan time. He was on his way there, so I think he could work there. Obviously, there's him and Punk, but I'm sure they'll be best fucking friends because Punk forgives everybody now in WWE, right? He's just trying to be happy, so I'm sure the dumb-headed empty fuck will be okay if they were to do it. But I'll see. But if it's just a straight up loss and they do this, I think this is very foolish idea. So I don't know. It sells the match at least, right? It adds intrigue to like a rematch that they wrestled last year, Revolution. So, and that's what I was talking about. I'm not saying Seth Rollins needs to do this, but that's where I'll give them kudos. They did add 2 steps to go, okay, now I'm curious to see MJF and Hangman Page again, what they're going to do. So
I'll say, do you think he just loses like with no interference? Like, I feel like if he loses, like MJF will cheat in some way, so I'm not counting that. I'll say like outside interference causing Hangman to lose.
It's tough because people brought up, I didn't notice this, but I'm not sure if it was when I listened to Self-Made or someone else, that all of MJF's defenses, he hasn't cheated once yet to defend the title. So that's where it's like, do they break that, or is that a thing he's trying to keep up? I think I lean to there's something that happens, but I think it would be even more heartbreaking if MJF just beats him just like by himself, and Hangman has to like live with that forever. And I think that's how you get back to a heel Hangman. But I'm going to say there's something, some kabookiness. So
yeah, I think with a stipulation like this, you don't end it without some sort of weirdness to the match. It's not going to be a straight up clean match.
Cody's going to come back. He's going to throw in the towel like MJF did for him. So, well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, for the actual gimmick, we'll be back more in the middle, near the end of March, the next 2 weekends, as long as they all go to plan. That's why I follow social media. We will have a GM or 2 streams where we'll have next week will just be the best of 5, where we're going to bring out the wheel, wrestle a bunch in the 2K26. So it's going to be new, too. We're not going to have much, as long as also for both these modes, if servers are our friends. Obviously, something crashes. Yeah, obviously, next weekend, if we try and it doesn't work, then we will delay. But that is the hopeful plan. Our plan is to do the best of 5, and then the weekend after, we'll do GM mode. So we'll be back that's your kind of month schedule right now. And we will be back, and I promise you, it'll not be boring.